Hello, and welcome to our video on the science of the human mind. Our minds are incredibly complex and fascinating, and in this video, we'll explore how we think, feel, and learn, and the science behind it all. Part 1. How we think. Our brains are constantly processing information from our surroundings, and we use our cognitive abilities to interpret and make sense of it all. Our thinking is influenced by our experiences, emotions, and beliefs, and it's shaped by our genetic makeup. We'll delve into the different types of thinking, such as logical and creative thinking, and how they impact our decision-making process. Logical thinking involves reasoning based on facts, while creative thinking involves the generation of unique and innovative ideas. We'll discuss the role of the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for executive functions such as planning, decision-making, and problem-solving. Additionally, we'll discuss cognitive biases, such as confirmation bias and the availability heuristic, that can affect our thinking. We'll also touch on the topic of intuition, which refers to the ability to understand something instinctively, without the need for conscious reasoning. Part 2. How we feel. Emotions are an integral part of being human, and they play a significant role in our lives. Our feelings are influenced by our environment, our relationships, and our experiences, and they can affect our mental and physical health. We'll explore the science behind emotions, including the role of neurotransmitters such as serotonin and dopamine, and the brain regions responsible for processing them. Serotonin is associated with feelings of happiness and contentment, while dopamine is associated with feelings of pleasure and motivation. We'll also discuss the different theories of emotion, including the James Lange theory, which proposes that emotions are a response to physiological changes in the body, and the Cannon-Barr theory, which proposes that emotions and physiological changes occur simultaneously. Additionally, we'll delve into the topic of emotional regulation, and the strategies we can use to manage our emotions. We'll discuss mindfulness, which involves being aware of one's thoughts and feelings without judgment, as well as other techniques such as cognitive reappraisal and distraction. We'll also touch on the topic of empathy, which refers to the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. Part 3. How we learn. Learning is a lifelong process, and it's how we acquire new skills and knowledge. The process of learning involves the brain receiving and processing information, and then making connections and associations between different pieces of information. We'll discuss the different types of learning, such as visual and auditory learning, and how they impact our memory and retention of information. Visual learning involves learning through images and diagrams, while auditory learning involves learning through listening to spoken words. We'll also explore the role of long-term potentiation, the process by which synapses become stronger as a result of repeated stimulation, in learning and memory. Additionally, we'll discuss the topic of metacognition, or thinking about thinking, and how it can enhance our learning. Metacognition involves being aware of one's own thought processes and strategies for learning. We'll also touch on the topic of motivation, and how it can impact our willingness to learn. Intrinsic motivation, which comes from within oneself, is associated with better learning outcomes than extrinsic motivation, which comes from external rewards or consequences. Part 4. The science behind it all. So, how does the brain actually work? We'll take a closer look at the neural pathways involved in thinking, feeling, and learning, and how they interact with each other. We'll discuss the different brain regions involved in these processes, such as the amygdala, the hippocampus, and the prefrontal cortex. The amygdala plays a role in processing emotions, while the hippocampus is involved in memory formation and retrieval. The prefrontal cortex, as mentioned earlier, is responsible for executive functions such as decision-making and problem-solving. We'll also discuss the latest research in neuroscience and psychology, and how it's helping us understand the complexities of the human mind, including the study of brain plasticity and the use of brain-computer interfaces. Brain plasticity refers to the brain's ability to change and adapt in response to experience. Brain-computer interfaces involve the use of technology to enable communication between the brain and external devices. Lastly, we'll explore the ethical implications of this research, and the importance of responsible use of this knowledge. We'll discuss issues such as privacy, autonomy, and informed consent. We'll also touch on the topic of consciousness, and the ongoing debate about what it means to be conscious. Conclusion. Our minds are truly amazing, and there's still so much we have yet to discover about them. We hope you enjoyed this video on the science of the human mind, and that it's given you a deeper appreciation for the incredible capabilities of our brains. The human mind is a complex system that influences our thoughts, feelings, and behavior in countless ways, and understanding its workings can help us lead more fulfilling lives. As we continue to learn more about the human mind, we must also recognize the importance of responsible use of this knowledge, and strive to use it for the greater good. Remember to keep exploring and learning, and we'll see you in the next